Let's do it.
I'm in this with you.
This video is made possible by 343 Studios.
All right, we are back here again at the John Deere booth. We're going to talk about sprayers now, because just because you're growing your crop doesn't necessarily mean that's all you got to do is put it in the ground and then wait till harvest. You got to keep those bugs. You got to keep those weeds. Water hemp's been terrible this year, and John Deere has came out with some precision stuff to make sure we're not wasting chemical. We're getting the chemical where it needs to be and productivity for your farm. Yeah. So this is Josh here with John Deere. He is the spray specialist. So Josh, what are some of the new technologies in 2025 that John Deere has come out for spraying?
Yeah, so in 2025, we're still talking a lot about See and Spray, right? We've been on this journey with our See and Spray, or targeted application, and I'll expand on what that means for the last few years, but we've got some really exciting new software updates that we're talking about this year. Just to, as you said, help increase productivity, help stay in the field later into the season, and get even more value out of the types of passes that we can make with our sprayer. So behind here, we brought a 616R with See and Spray Ultimate. It's a 2-tank solution, carbon fiber boom.
How many gallon tank does this come with?
Yeah, so it's got a 600-gallon tank one, a 1,000-gallon tank two for 1,600 total.
Okay.
We also have a 1,000-gallon option and a 1,200-gallon that have their own splits.
Okay.
But we've got the 3 different options. You've got, each line has its own independent agitation. It has its own lines for plumbing, and then it has a dual product ExactApply nozzle body.
So you can apply 2 products at once.
2 products at once.
So again, saving fuel there, guys. Saving fuel, productivity. You're getting 2 jobs done at one pass.
Yeah, the most common use case is a residual and a non-residual, right? So if you're in corn, or if you're in beans, or cotton, those are the 3 supportive crops we have. As that crop starts to emerge from the ground, the operator with Farmer Custom Applicator makes the pass, and they're putting their residual down for kind of their long-term defense against emergence. And then they're running the non-residual out of the See and Spray tank and hitting any weeds, grasses, or volunteer crops as they're starting to come up side by side with the crop.
Now, does this sprayer unit, does it constantly spray, or does it have this where it sees the weed and it sprays it?
Yeah, so this has got See and Spray. So I don't know if you can see on the boom here, but we've got 36 cameras.
They're right on top there, shooting kind of 45 down.
There's 16 on both sides, and then we have 4 behind the tires as well. And then these Silver Ridge boxes that you see, those are our VPUs, or basically our supercomputer, and they're running our machine learning and our artificial intelligence models that we've been working on over the last several years that help us make that spray decision, right? So as an operator, you hop in the sprayer and say, hey, I'm gonna spray corn today, right? And as you're making your pass, we know what a healthy corn crop looks like at different growth stages because we train the model, right? So when you know what something is, you then very confidently know when something is not that thing. So whether you see Palmer or volunteer beans or whatever the case may be, that's when we make that spray decision. And then the supercomputer sends the signal to the appropriate nozzles to turn on for that spray in 200 milliseconds or less.
Oh, wow. So you basically tell the computer that you're spraying corn, you don't want any beans, it sees the bean, it knocks it out.
Sprays the bean, Nice. See, yeah, we always say...
And that's vice versa with bean fields too.
Yep, I say seaweed, spray weed, right? We're up to 15 miles an hour now across the portfolio. That was again, software update, kind of gets better over time, technology that adapts and evolves. This last year for our single tank option, we were limited at 12 miles an hour, right? A lot of guys said, hey, 12 is okay, I'd prefer to go 15, right? So we were able to make some tweaks to the software, unlock that capability, and then release it as a free software update.
So with the faster speeds, have you guys had to change any of the tips to be able to get that product down closer to the plant?
Yeah, so we have new tips that are coming out every year. I won't get into the details on those. I'll defer to our nozzle experts for that, but we have a really good relationship with HiPro, really good relationship with TJet, and they have new nozzles for us as we brought the technology to market. I will say though, the most common question that we get from folks is like, okay, last year with See and Spray we covered over 1 million acres, right?
Wow, that's crazy.
And on that 1 million acres we save 59%, right? So guys are going to say, cool, you're saving 59%. Does that mean I need to change my rate to be 59% more? The answer is absolutely not. Stay on label. We are doing a target broadcast application, which means when the nozzles turn on, they are going to be on label. So if your product is 10 gallons an acre, 15 gallons an acre, whatever it may be, set that in the sprayer. And when we see something that needs to be sprayed, we're going to spray it at that label rate. Right. But when you get to the...
Why waste the extra product when you don't need to?
Exactly. So when you get to the areas of the field, we all know the interior portions of the field are usually the cleaner areas of the field. So why spray when you don't need to?
And a lot of this stuff where you're doing spot spraying, I mean, back in the old days, you would just have a continuous spray. Think of the runoff you get that gets into spots that it don't need to be. I mean, you're running Roundup or something in a field, you know, after you plant your crop, if we get a big rain after that, a lot of that runs off.
So sustainability obviously is a big message that we have with See and Spray. Less product, less water usage, right? I will say, just I still love our ExactApply machines and everything that we can do for customers that haven't necessarily made the jump into See and Spray.
Right.
We can still help to be really, really efficient with that broadcast pass, with the entire boom that's turned on, no question. But for folks that are maybe looking to add a little bit more tech, right, a little bit more insights, a little bit more data capture, we can generate weed pressure maps and as applied maps on the fly and funnel that data directly back into a customer's operations center. That's where See and Spray, whether it's premium, whether it's ultimate, or if you're small grains, another option that we're not even going to get into detail on with See and Spray Select. There's a bunch of different options for some next gen tech.
Right. So have you guys, I mean, a lot of people, I know that you guys have done a lot of things to where the operator doesn't necessarily have to turn around and look at the booms behind him. They can concentrate on that and let the system do the spraying behind him. When you talk to a lot of farmers, there's a lot more farmers doing the, like the rear boom versus a front mount boom, like the Heggie over here, or is there more farmers still going with the rear mount boom?
So it's hard, I can't say with any level of confidence, right? Guys love Heggie. I love Heggie. I also love John Deere. I do believe that, so we do have some guys that run both, right? They have different applications. Heggie can sit higher above the crop later into the season. It can do that late season fungicide or nitrogen application on that corn crop, right? Whereas a rear mounted boom may not be able to get quite that high, right?
Okay.
But
do you guys have like Y drops that you guys can add onto this to get your nitrogen down closer to the?
So we actually have ExactDrop for Heggie, and so that's a phenomenal option for guys. It's the full width, 120 foot width of the boom. So if folks are wanting to put down some nitrogen application, we have.
Does John Deere offer that?
Not the ExactDrop option. That's exclusive, or that's for Heggie. We do have options that you can put on a Deere boom. There's also a lot of aftermarket options that customers can look into. But it's not really like, oh, I got to have this or I got to have that. What I do believe is that once guys, if they're on a rear mounted boom and they decide to go to a front mounted boom, it's a different view that once you get used to it, you generally don't necessarily go back, right?
Right.
And so guys they like seeing what's out in front of them. They like being able to see the spray instead of looking back. We still have a lot of guys that love John Deere machines. I love John Deere machines.
We've got a John Deere.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that run Heggie that love Heggie, and I don't think it's one or the other. We have some guys that are both, but I do think there's a preference in view that is going to be individual to each farmer.
So to kind of finish up here, with the technology that's been happening in the last couple of years, 5 years down the road, where do you see spray technology going? What can you see that maybe even be in testing right now that's coming out to the farmers?
So I'm not going to speak to that, but what I will say is what gets me excited and like motivated coming into work every single day. I truly believe at my core that every conversation we have, every show with a grower that says you got to get into peanuts, you got to get into sugar beets, you got to get into potatoes, like that would be so tremendous.
Moving into different crops.
I truly believe it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? When we think about what we can do with machine learning models, with technology that evolves and gets better over time, year over year, right? We've got the whole world at our fingertips, and so that's where I get really excited as we head into the future. Not necessarily what's going to be coming 6 months or a year from now, but I always say the conversation I'm most excited to have is the one we get to have next year. Right. Because I get to tell you about all the great new stuff that we brought. That's usually just via a software update that we can get to the customer.
Do you feel like drones are eventually going to put these things back in the sheds?
No.
Do you feel like these will just go extinct?
I think there will be a place for both. John Deere recently announced we're moving into the drone space. We acquired a company called Frontera. They're here at Farm Progress if you'd like to go and talk to them. But we clearly see value in aerial application, and we're getting a lot of questions about drones. But do I ever think a aerial solution will fully replace a ground rig? Absolutely not.
The only thing I could see, like in this year, we've had some down crops. We've had some wind come through. You can't get, without running over crops, you can't get a tractor like this. And that's where a drone would come in, especially to put your fungicides and stuff on.
Absolutely. There is absolutely value for it. To your question of do I think a drone's going to replace this and put this in the barn, I don't think we'll ever get to that place, but I do think as drones get a little bit more high tech, you'll start to see them have very specific uses of like, oh, this would make a lot of sense for a drone versus a sprayer, stuff like that.
So anyway, guys, it's been lovely here. This has probably been the best weather we've had.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I wore a jacket this morning.
Oh, I had a hoodie on the way up here.
In August in Illinois. It's crazy.
The weather's been great. The crops look pretty good. Again, I thank John Deere for allowing me to come here and check out their awesome equipment. If you are here at the Farm Progress Show, or you're going to be at the upcoming Farm Progress Show next year in Boone, Iowa, make sure you come talk to these guys. These guys are phenomenal. They'll hook you up. Any questions you have, they'll answer.
Yeah, last shout out. Talk to your John Deere dealer. If you like what you're hearing, if you're hearing it for the first time and you have questions, talk to your John Deere dealer. They've been around this product. They've stocked the parts. They have the service. They have the knowledge that they can pass on. They are an invaluable resource if you're interested in the See and Spray technology or any of our sprayer.
Do you guys do any demos, or any farmer wanted to call you and say, hey, can you bring one out? Can I see it work?
Yeah, dealers have different demo machines that they have available, so I can't say in mass, like, yeah, call them, they're going to have one. But definitely reach out to your dealer if that's of interest, and they can get you on the right path.
And the only thing, I do lawn care as well, and when I go to buy a new mower, I always look at customer service.
YouTube, DJ, lawn care, is there anything you don't do?
I can't fly a helicopter. Okay. Not yet.
All right.
I can fly a remote control drone, but not so much a real helicopter. There's a little difference there. But thanks for watching, guys. Again, check out your local John Deere dealer, and you'll be glad you did. This stuff is awesome, and technology is only getting higher. See you in the next one, guys.
Thank you.